is the time.
Forever? Tangent. Old.
Halt.
Hashtag always MGM.
You are approaching the unloading area.
Calm down. AK haters.
But what if it could? Behold, the
Disney
majesty of the
breeze.
Sistine Ceiling.
For the kids.
A salute to all theme parks, but mostly Walt Disney World.
Ha! What a cute ending.
Aloha and
Don't Dillo it.
This is Theme Park Thursday with Dillo's Diz. She is Jen.
Hello.
And I am Frank, and we are here at DillosDizResort.com. That's our Patreon with memberships beginning as low as $1 per month. That $1 gets you into our world-famous, world-renowned, one-channel Discord. The members here, the guests at DillosDizResort.com already experienced a false start to this podcast. Jen, good evening on Theme Park Thursday Eve from the resort.
Good evening and happy November. In the words of TikTok, it's the first of wake up. It's the first of the month. You hear that sound every first of the month?
I'm not on the TikTok enough lately.
Well, now you will be. Oh, not lately. It's every single first of the month. How are you not on this algorithm?
What? Oh, maybe I'm just not on the first of the month. I don't know.
Yeah, gotta get on it.
I am another year older, however.
You sure are. I for some behind the scenes. So yeah, there was a false start, and then Frank hits the intro again. The little it's just so I know for editing where I'm starting, even though it probably wouldn't have been too difficult to figure out. But then Jeffers writes in the chat, guy turns 50 and can't remember how to do the intro. And the behind the scenes on that are me and Frank in the green room just chuckling as we both see the comment at the same time.
One more year. That's it.
How are we feel? You know what? We did not put this on the agenda 5 minutes ago when we were like, what are we talking about today? How are we feeling now that the birthday has officially passed? It happened. It has come and gone. How are we feeling?
I'm fine.
Will you be cranky this month because you didn't have time to be cranky last month?
Well, right, we had a very busy month, which maybe we'll get out all the cranky today on this tangent-filled episode, most likely. We kind of know how it's going. The last month, right, in October, we had Justin Monorail, we had Rocco before the Doodles Art Show at the Museum of Nostalgia, we had the 300 episode, and then we had Angela Dahlgren. I mean,
it was
October, it was like the good old days.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, it was just like the days before March 2023 is really how
the days before March 30th, to be specific.
I mean, we like to do our end of year episodes in December. I don't know how we're gonna recap all that.
Yeah.
And then we forgot what happened during these 5 months when Papa Dillo was convalescing and we were driving back and forth to a hospital every day.
Yes.
But I'm fine. Did I properly distract away from my birthday and talk about something else?
No, because I'm still here waiting for the answer to my question that needs to be more than I'm fine.
I had a very nice birthday. I had a lovely steak dinner on Friday night with Mrs. Dillo. And, sometimes when it starts like when it starts early, your birthday's on a Sunday. And it starts on Friday, then you're like, we got to keep going with what I want because it got to dinner Saturday night and I was like, I want pizza. Let's go. It's my birthday weekend.
It's my birthday weekend.
And then Sunday, we had there was a birthday party to go to for the kid. And then there was a Halloween party we had to go to for the kids. So that was on my actual birthday. And then it got to Sunday night. And I was like, well, it's still my birthday. So let's have some buffalo chicken wraps from the pub for dinner. Let's go.
Yeah.
So for that, Carvel ice cream cake all weekend long. Still going. Still in the freezer.
Obviously. Yeah. Little crunchies.
So, it's good. Going to see Merrily We Roll Along on Broadway in January.
Nice.
Saw it downtown last year.
Yeah.
Jonathan Groff Daniel Radcliffe, you know, Lindsay Mendez, can't go wrong.
Yeah.
I saw Jonathan Groff in person on Monday night, walked right by me.
Yeah. Sure.
Uh,
Like he does.
I thought he was taller than me.
He's not.
Yeah, but I'm barely taller than him, to be fair.
Oh, okay.
But when I was like expecting like 2 to 3 inches on me,
Oh,
and I was I
interesting.
was I was surprised. Maybe I just think he's as tall as Kristoff.
Oh, I was like, what?
I was
That's
like, it's not
interesting.
Hans, it's not Sven. What's his
Right. Right. What is his name? Um, I don't know that I've ever thought about his height,
Mhm.
but now that you say it, and I picture him as the king, let's say,
Yeah.
I don't think I would think he was. You are tall, and as many in this Disney community
Mm.
have said, taller than they were expecting. So, I feel like I would have put him around your height. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna shake down Lewis here at the resort and point him out directly as one of the people who has made that comment before. Um, but Lewis, what is it? Is it like you were expecting like James Cagney, like a little short little gangster type with the fedora on when you were like, hey,
Oh,
he's on, see?
considerably, he is saying as you're pointing him out. Considerably taller. And that's what's so funny about, as we come out from behind the screens as
Mm.
to who we meet. Like Dr. Jacqueline, I know you're listening to this at a later time on YouTube, and Dr. Jacqueline taller than I was expecting. I don't think I expected her
Oh,
shorter than me, but like but I was like, "Oh my goodness, she's so tall." Like I think that was my first impression in the
oh,
best way, Dr.
oh,
Jacqueline. You know I love
interesting. Don't know even standing next to Dr. Jacqueline several times at this point if I know how tall she
you.
is.
Yeah.
But I have, as tends to happen, I do tend to see celebrities from time to time. We're going to talk about this, I think, on the post show at the resort on Thursday night following Theme Park Thursday Live on our YouTube channel because it's been popping up again in the Discord lately.
Mhm.
But especially, I feel like the last week or so, I have seen multiple celebrities, which has been fascinating.
Yeah. It's always good.
Yeah.
Um,
But long story short, Halloween dominated my actual birthday, which then carried into Halloween. I know your Friday last week started with Halloween.
yeah. My month started with listen, yesterday I tweeted, "Is anyone else in this parental marathon?" I I told Mr. Snidillo last week, I'm like, "Listen, you're gonna have to take Halloween off. There is no time to do anything else on Halloween. The kids are on 2 different schools. They both
Mhm,
got parades. They
mhm,
both got in-classroom parties.
mhm,
They then there's the trick-or-treating. That we got too much going on. And this month, the 6-year-old had a I can't even speak. This month has been too long. Oh, wait, it's only November 1st. It's just starting. Um, the 6-year-old had a Halloween dance 2 weeks ago. And then this past Friday was trunk or treat at the 9-year-old school
mhm.
where as all of you who follow us on the socials have seen, we recreated Main Street in the trunk of the of Papadillo's truck.
Yeah. The
Yes.
model and make of which you cannot remember.
Ford Model double A. Do you say it like a battery? I don't know. Where's Mr. Sidell? Did we drive an electric car back in September? I don't know. Um, it's a AA if that helps. I just don't know if you say AA or like I forget what you say. But anyway. Yeah. Jeffers asking if I gave out business cards. So I believe in our post show last week, was that where we were talking about the
Yes.
fact of whether or not I would be promoting the podcast?
Mhm,
And I said, absolutely not.
mhm,
I would not be doing that. And then, but of course, we get there. Papadillo, I didn't hear what he said. He said something to Mr. Snidillo, and Mr.
mhm.
Snidillo said, "No, Jen doesn't want anyone to know." And I was like, there's talk about the podcast happening." And then I turned and Papadella goes, "Yeah, you got business cards. You could have them sitting out. Just put the business cards out." I'm like, Papadillo, never really thinking about Delos as a business, except for right now. No, he's only, like, trying to promote it. But obviously, I did not promote the podcast in any way. I did learn of some people. Oh my God, we were just there in August and they had the party. Or oh my God, I love that. It's like I want to walk up Main Street now with like a Starbucks, and I'm like, oh, so you get it, you know it. And then it's all the little things. Yeah, totally. Same. There was a contest which we only recalled, shortly before doing it, and to which, Mama and Papa Dillo very angry about that we did we didn't place first or at
Mhm.
all. Um, but I said, a lot of the adults appreciated the work that went into it, and they were all like, "Oh my God, this is crazy." Whereas, like, I think if you're a kid, you're looking at the colorful things, the really crazy poppy things, the balloons. Maybe they're giving out toys at that table. You never know. So, they're looking at all that kind of stuff. So, we weren't actually expecting anything from it. But it was good to see.
All right, there's a couple of things happening here in the
Yes.
resort I want to bring up. Lewis mentioning that they need membership cards and promotional cards that they can hand out too with a discount for your first 3 months of Patreon membership. Lewis, if you find people that want to come to DillosDisResort.com, just tell them and we will put them in the Discord for 3 months. And then they will fall in love with us. And then all will be right with the world. So Halloween then, success over, Halloween over.
Over.
First time here yesterday, because when you live in New York City, I never really have understood the trick or treat thing.
Oh.
It's
Uh-huh.
not made sense to me.
Right.
And then, really, the time that the 7-year-old has, gotten into Halloween more. It's been since 2020 on. So da 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 da
Uh-huh.
da da da. Da. So even last year, we have like a main street, no pun intended, but a main just drive Steinway,
Mhm.
that has a lot of storefronts. So last year we just kind of went up and down the storefronts. They promote
Yeah.
that you could trick or treat there. But it's still like, it's not suburbia me is
Yeah.
like, come on,
Mhm.
what's going on? So I had contemplated taking the 7-year-old to Mama Dillo yesterday.
Mhm.
But there was enough buzz yesterday with the Halloween parade that we had to go to as well, and all the things that, like, oh, these two streets, that's where you go for the trick or treating. And I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, all right, I'll go. So go over there like 3:30. I go pick her up a little early from she was playing after school. And we go over to these blocks, and I was like, what? I have lived in this neighborhood consistently for 12 years, but off and on for about 20 years.
Mhm.
So what? It is pandemonium on these two blocks,
Oh,
where
interesting.
apparently the only way to buy it, no, this is not true. I'm making this up. But if you live on that block, you must give out candy on Halloween and decorate and do all the, like, it was madness on those two blocks,
Yeah.
and pretty much only those two blocks.
Yeah.
So and I have brought the 7-year-old as a 2.5-year-old to Walt Disney World, around the holidays,
Mhm.
Magic Kingdom, and have not worried about tracking her down the same way I was worried about tracking her down yesterday on these two
Yeah.
city blocks.
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
crazy.
Yeah. But that's good that it's almost like, what is that area? Is it Diker Heights during, the
Yeah,
holidays
same
where
idea.
they
Yeah.
decorate all the houses and, like, it's pandemonium over there when people are looking. Um, yeah, and it's funny, like, we have never trick or treated around us, like in our neighborhood, ever, because we have always our village does same thing with the stores where you can go all throughout our main street, which I think you got confused with, thinking
You
that
have
Lexi.
and you have an actual main street, which is
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, so they all the restaurants and the stores are handing out candy, and there's a little Halloween parade over there and all that, which we never are a part of, but, so we did all that, and then this year, though, leading up to Halloween, they were like, "Can we trick or treat by us? We never get to trick or treat by us because we usually do that, and then we'll go with, like, friends to their area," or last year we went to different friends to their area. So we're like, "Yes, we will trick or treat by us this year." But of course, by the time we're leaving, we're like, "We are done with today. This is an exhausting day." And then the 6-year-old is like, I want a meal. I'm hungry and I want a meal. Can we just stay around here and go to a restaurant and sit down? And I'm like, oh, no, but it's getting to that point of the night. But why don't we go and we'll pick up food and we'll go home? And then she's like, I don't want to eat the food at home and we want to trick or treat by us. I was
I
like,
want a
fine.
place with really good
Yeah.
apps.
Yeah,
Any place with really good apps?
I'm gonna need some of those. Because they had some tapas for the night. So we were like, all right, why don't we just go to a couple of houses by us? But then we're like, but we're not eating at home. We're bringing food in. Oh, well, we can just bring food in. I go, uh-huh. So we're good. If we pick up food and we go home, and then that's it. We're all good. We're all set. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, okay. Everyone's tired. Let's go. Let's go home.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, exactly. And then of course they're like driving home. They're just zombies. I'm like, yeah, you guys really we're gonna party hard this Halloween night. Just all night long. And it's a school night. Get out of here.
Um, Question: have you seen the this summer's Haunted Mansion? Did you do that as part of your? I know the kids didn't. Did you do that, Jen?
I did not. I did not.
Me either. I didn't do it
Yeah.
either.
I know we failed.
I said I was going to. I did not.
I know. And I hear good things. And I'm like, I need to sit down and just watch it. And I haven't done it yet. Yes.
No, and I don't know why it is. But you know what I did see in the theater for the first time this weekend after 30 years
Mm-hmm.
was part of my birthday 3-day weekend, apparently. Which what's better than 1 day of my birthday? 3 days of my birthday. And I went to see The Nightmare Before Christmas in the theater for the very first time in the theater.
Yeah. What did you think?
Well, here's the thing about like my history with The Nightmare Before Christmas. It's bizarre, right? Because this movie got released in America on my birthday in 1993.
Old. How old were
Now,
you then?
it's 19. So now leading up to the birthday that year, I was excited about the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I was into Tim Burton, right? Batman, Edward Scissorhands, Beetlejuice, like obviously the aesthetic of Tim Burton.
Yeah.
Young artsy me, excited by that. This movie, Nightmare Before Christmas. I like Christmas. Let's go. Did I see the movie in the movie theater when it came out? I did not.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Now we're not going to get into what I was doing in 1993. Like that's a whole other story for another time. That's not appropriate for this podcast. I'm pretty sure I saw a movie every week in 1993, like the year of 1993. Every weekend, I think I was at the movies, and I'm pretty sure the only 3 movies I didn't see, or 2 movies, Hocus Pocus and Nightmare Before Christmas. So it makes no sense to me at all when I can name all the other movies I saw in 1993. So then I remember, right? I bought the video when it came out, the old VHS in the clamshell cassette case. Excited. Go home, put it in the VCR. I didn't like it. Now I have books on the artwork. I have a baseball jersey with the artwork that I love. I wore it that day.
Yeah.
It's missing a button. I don't care. All of a sudden, I was like, "Where's the button?" But I was convinced that it's because I didn't get to see it in the theater, and that's why it's never grabbed me the same.
Right.
Danny Elfman music, love Danny Elfman. So finally, after 30 years, I could finally put it to rest of how I feel about The Nightmare Before Christmas.
And
it's fine. It's better in the movie theater. It's definitely a better movie theater experience. But I could not help but think, I was like, this is just a holiday special. I'm watching a holiday special in the movie theater, which is also fine. But I wish I saw it 30 years ago in the movie theater. Is really, and you go, oh, now I just got regret for the rest of my life. Just built off the 30 years of regret previously.
Interesting. Yeah, we saw that was out as well. It was playing in the dine-in by us. There was a brief like, should we do this?
Yeah.
But we did not. But we were on a kick in this house a few years ago where for a good 2 to 3 years, we were watching it around this time of year. So in
Yeah.
this household, it just became a Halloween movie. It wasn't. There was no debate. It was
Hmm.
just played at this time of year. The
Hmm.
soundtrack was played constantly in the car, all this kind of stuff. And then a year or two ago, maybe just last year, that they like fell off. Like, nope, we don't want anything to do with this movie anymore. I'm like, what? I don't understand. What's happening? And they're like, no, we don't like it, and we don't like Oogie Boogie, and we don't like this, and I'm like, what's happening? And
Hmm.
then this year, I think I just put it on one day and they were like, no. And then they kind of like started watching from the sidelines and
Hmm.
made their way back. But I'm wondering if maybe they would watch it again if it was in like, because I know they're going to play it near me on Christmas Eve too. But
Oh.
so I don't know if in that theater where that's the same theater I saw the Muppets
Hmm.
Take Manhattan, so sometimes they just play, random movies every once in a while. So I'm like, oh, I wonder if they would watch it if it was in the movie theater again.
Yeah.
And I also want to follow up regarding you talking about 1993 and what you were doing. So people are very curious and saying maybe that needs to be a post show in the resort. And really, I think there are the lost years of Dillos. There's a few pockets of
Hmm.
time. We will often say the mid 2000s, and there's just these pockets of years. I'm not sure if we'll ever get there to talk about the lost years of the Dillos, but maybe. And if it was going to happen, it happened at the resort, I think. But
Oh, it would happen at the resort for sure.
yeah, it would never be public. It
I
would
don't
happen at the
think
resort.
people's reputed thoughts about me would change if I talked about 1993. uh, Lewis was mentioning that it was good in 3D, and I think
Mm,
it was like 2000. Speaking of the mid 2000s, 2006 to 2010. I looked it
mhm,
up that
uh-huh.
they ran kind of the 3D every year, and I think it actually went longer than that. And again, why did I not go see this in the movie theater every year for
Yeah.
5 years in the mid to late 2000s? I also kind of know that answer, but it is in the year 2000. No, 2006. But this kind of like capped a string of 3 months of movies,
Hmm.
movie experiences, I should say, that started with these Disney 100 releases. The 7-year-old and I went to see Toy Story, Beauty and the Beast, uh, Lion King, Coco, and Moana.
Hmm.
Mrs. Dillo was at a couple of those. We also saw Hocus Pocus, the 30th anniversary release at the beginning of October. She did not come with me to Nightmare Before Christmas, but we did go to the one night only October 21st screening of Back to the Future, which you can
Hmm.
find on the YouTube channel, me talking about it immediately following about whether or not it's a perfect movie. And, you know, what's funny, because I tried to do some research. I'm not saying my research skills are very good, even though I have an MFA in dramaturgy. I'm so bringing this back.
God.
That I thought it was funny. I like went through all the domestic box office for 2023, and I could see how much money. Like Hocus Pocus, like did pretty well for the weekend, and Nightmare Before
Hmm.
Christmas did well this past weekend. But none of these other Disney 100 movies are listed in the domestic box.
Hmm.
And like I went, I did at least two sources to try to find out. And what's the big deal, Disney? What are you afraid of? You didn't market it well enough, so you don't want to release the numbers of how much money you made or did not make on these movies.
Yep. It's ridiculous. The fact that I could not find those movies on all of Long Island is
Hmm.
ridiculous. Like, again, Nightmare Before Christmas, I could have gone to see Back to the Future. Like, I found that in theaters around me. So all of those movies were available. None of the Disney 100 were available around here. That's crazy.
And it did, and it was a fascinating and kind of exercise experiment to go through to see how many people are coming to which movies. Now I'm going to matinees. I'm not going to Saturday evening. Back to the Future was packed for the one
Hmm.
night only.
Yes.
Let's just say it wasn't like that for any of these other movies, which I saw in a matinee either Saturday or Sunday.
Right.
And in some cases, some instances, probably less than 10 people in the audience.
Hmm.
Uh, but that's what I don't get. And you get something like Disney Plus, and you see that, they just put that like in theaters, select theaters this weekend. Just put it as soon as I click my little avatar,
Hmm.
give me in movie theaters this weekend, select theaters, give me whatever movie is out.
Yeah.
Why? It can be that simple, Disney. I don't like. I can't grasp the concept of it. Of like how they just kind of like it's Disney movies. If you build it, people will come. What?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It was evident by how many people were in the audience. But
It's
they
crazy.
got to stop doing that because I'm spending a lot of money at the movies, and like I don't want to pay for like it pays itself if you just go two
I
times a
know.
month.
Yeah, I considered that at the beginning of the summer because I was like, "Uh-oh, there's a lot of movies I wanna see this summer. This isn't gonna be good. Should I get that pass?
Mhm.
Will that do it?" And then you do the Disney math, and you know what? It's not Disney, so I'm not doing it. So that's how that works.
Yeah, it's definitely I definitely have dropped a lot of money at the movies on Harvey was I think the only first run movie we've seen since
Mhm.
July. And we haven't seen Paw Patrol movie.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
And we haven't seen the Taylor Swift movie, though we've talked about it.
Yeah.
This Taylor Swift, she's a big deal at the school. I don't know how it is for the kids by you, but
I hear that the six-year-old says that, her teacher is she doesn't say this, but she's apparently a Swiftie. So,
does she
and
have the wristbands? That's all I know. Do they have
I
the
mean,
wristbands?
it's not wristbands, it's friendship bracelets. Get it right. Pay the price.
Are they magic
Um,
bands? What are they?
were they slap bracelets? What is she giving out at the shows?
That's my Taylor Swift band. Get me into the animal kingdom after 2 p.m.
But what if it could?
But what if it
Um,
could?
yeah, so here and there, and they know she hears it a little bit more, and then, of course, the nine-year-old being all in on football is very intrigued by the, Travis Kelce and
Uh huh.
Taylor Swift
Uh huh.
relationship, of
Yeah.
course, so Taylor Swift is known in the house, but then, like, we did a couple weeks ago, we were like, "Should we go see this movie?" Because Mr. Snidillo and I are kinda like, "I kinda wanna see it, I think I wanna see it a little bit." Um and then they were like, "No." I thought they would say yes because they're all about the movies in general
Hmm.
because just the experience of it. But they said no. Now I did have a friend who took one of her kids this past weekend. She said it did hit a point where she kind of fell out of it a little bit. Like Taylor was playing some older songs that she
Uh huh.
didn't know, and it's like 2.5 hours or
It's a
something.
long
So
movie. Yeah.
like,
Hmm.
it's a long that if you don't know that catalog, maybe you might fall out of it a little bit and I don't.
Hmm.
I'm not a Swiftie. Am I too old to be a Swiftie? Probably, but maybe not. I don't know.
You're probably on the cusp.
I don't know. I think Swifties are of all ages. No, I don't know.
Well, I'm not saying that.
No, I know.
That's true. I mean, they're probably of all ages, but you were what, 20 and 20, mid 20s when Taylor Swift hit?
Last year, yeah,
Mid to late 20s?
yeah.
No, the original hit, Kanye West at the VMAs and everything. That's
Wasn't that last year?
no, it was almost 15 years ago. It's like 2009.
I can't. I can't.
2009. She was
Nope.
19. It was fine. No,
It's
how old
fine.
was she?
It'll
Yeah,
be
yeah.
fine.
Yeah, she was going to be 20 at those VMAs. Mhm.
Can I just go back for a moment
Yes.
before we get too far away and we can close out the Halloween corner? Where's the Disney Plus music when we need it? The Halloween corner. Did
Mm,
you see on social media? Neil Patrick Harris and his family always go big for Halloween. They all
mhm.
dressed up. They all have coordinating costumes.
Right.
This year, they were all gods.
What?
Yes, you and Neil Patrick Harris. And so I think you should bring up those photos. I
Mhm,
was going to send it to you last night and then thought, you know what, we're podcasting tomorrow. I'll bring it up there.
mhm,
See, so I plan ahead. But yeah, and I was like, oh, and he did like a whole photo shoot, of course. And I'm like,
mm.
well, whatever.
What is this, on the Instas? Where do I find this?
Yeah, you could go on the Instagram and find Neil Patrick Harris,
His
probably
name
at
is Neil.
NPH.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Let me check. Because that was obviously our, Mrs. Dillo was Medusa and I was
Yes.
Dionysus.
Yes.
And
You all
the
looked
7-year-old,
fantastic.
the 7-year-old was Athena,
Mhm.
goddess of warfare, wisdom, and weaving. And as she would say, uh, do they know what weaving is? I was like, do I know what weaving is? I do not.
Do people
Um,
know the weaving?
the weaving. Oh man, look at this. This is a heck of
Mhm.
a pic right here.
Yeah. Yeah, they did
Wow.
like a whole professional photo shoot. You want to hold it up to the screen for the resort guests. If you're listening to the audio version, feel free to Google or go on the Instas or
Wait,
what do
wait.
you
Oh,
do?
what did I
What do you
do? What did
choose?
I do
Oh
wrong
my
here?
goodness, old. Okay, yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
the whole thing here.
yeah. But you can find it on Instagram and probably across social media. But yeah, I was like, what? Wow, you guys are right up there with Neil Patrick Harris and his family with your planning of Halloween.
Yeah. Jeffrey, Taylor Swift was born in 1989, not 1998. Come on. I only know that because it's the name of her album.
Yeah,
So now that we're closing out the Halloween corner
right.
and it's November 1st,
Yeah.
we can officially say here at the 33-minute mark, we are in Jen's Nightmare Before Christmas,
Ugh,
which
worst.
is which is the time between Halloween, basically, or probably it started a little earlier for Jen, knowing what I was doing around the house, until Thanksgiving when the Macy's parade is over, basically.
Uh-huh.
Jen,
Uh-huh.
it's time to embrace the holidays early. Get that Main Street music loop going.
No. No, I will not.
I posted a YouTube short with my ornaments with a
I
little
didn't watch
Mariah
it.
Carey. You didn't watch it? How dare you? We're trying to get our subscribers up finally.
No, I need to watch it. You did that this morning, right? As of
I
this
did.
recording. Mm-hmm.
hmm the tree is up here. The Hallmark movies have been watching. I'm good with words tonight. I think we haven't watched the movies and mysteries release. They've only done one so far, I believe,
Uh-huh.
because it sounds sad. And but we've watched the other ones so far, so you'll have to check back to see what I have and have not approved of so far. There was another one of these Lindsay Fonseca ones that if Lindsay Fonseca from the beginning and end of every How I Met Your Mother episode,
Oh, uh-huh, yes.
the kid. Now she's an adult in Hallmark movies.
What, wasn't she just a kid last year when we were watching How I Met Your Mother?
That was 15 years ago. Mrs. Dillo and I are split on that one. We watched the one on the DVR last night from Sunday night that was set in France. That
Mm.
was a pretty good one. I never know how to say Joyeux Noël, so
Oh.
I'll recommend that one. And Christmas by Design was probably the only other one. And,
Listen, this Lacey Chabert Scott Wolf movie that I've been sending you guys for the last 2
mhm,
months, that one's
mhm.
not coming on until Thanksgiving weekend,
No,
probably,
they're
right?
saving Lacey, please.
Yeah.
I feel like
The
they
queen
gotta
of
drop
Hallmark.
like one here and there that like will
Yeah,
keep us watching through the weekend.
right.
In these early stages here, because obviously there's many people like you. I was once like you,
Yes, you were. You were.
but now I'm watching Hallmark movies every weekend.
I can't
Yes.
do it. I can't. I don't know. Sometimes I get tempted. There is some temptation every once in a while because I'm like just in the mood for like oh man, Hallmark.
Mhm,
But like then I'm like, no, you have the tradition and that's what makes it special that it only lasts this long. However, last year, because I went a different route because I'm unplugged, and
mhm,
so I normally get Sling and
mhm,
then watch it through Sling. But
mhm,
last year, I think I did it through like the Hallmark app or something, and that did not show me every movie. I couldn't watch old movies that much. I had to like only watch it, and I was like, no, you see, I'm gonna need some of my stuff from 2014, and
mhm,
I'm gonna need the new things. And so that's also tempting for like leading up to Thanksgiving is I know they're showing a lot of those older movies and
mhm.
I want to see those. I think last year I did um maybe a few days before Thanksgiving or like a week before that I went into Netflix and watched some of those. I like
Yeah.
that what is her name? I'm blanking. Kristen Davis
Mhm.
and uh what is his name? I'm blanking. It's not Ray Liotta. Who is it? No,
Ray Liotta.
it's not Ray Liotta. Who is it? Oh
Ray
my goodness.
Romano.
No. I'm blanking.
That's
They
fine.
have a movie, the Call Something of the Wild, but it's like the holiday movie and they go to
When
Africa.
calls the heart.
No, not that.
Oh.
That's on Hallmark. Hold on. Hold Kristen Davis, Netflix Christmas movie.
Everyone's like, stop talking about Christmas.
Rob Lowe.
Oh,
Rob
Rob Lowe.
Lowe.
Mhm.
Not Ray Liotta. Rob Lowe, same initials. Kristen Davis. Holiday in the Wild. Enjoy that one. Have you
I don't
not
think
seen
I've
that
seen
one
that one.
with
I
the
don't think.
elephants and the? I don't
Now
know.
that you say that, it sounds familiar, but it's been a while.
Yeah. So I think I did that one. I think one year I did like the Lindsay Lohan one that she made. Was that last year? I
That
don't
might have
even
been
know.
last year. Yeah.
So I feel like I dabbled because I was like, I gotta get Netflix out of the way because I gotta put all my focus on Hallmark once the season starts. Yeah.
No, understood. So I thought we would kind of use your Nightmare Before Christmas period of time here,
Yeah.
your own personal Nightmare Before Christmas, and discuss the holiday offerings at Walt Disney World that begin on November the 11th. Coincidentally, that's Mrs. Dillo and I's anniversary. Disney know what they're doing once again by leaning into Dillo's Diz.
Obviously. Always.
I will be in Iceland
Mm-hmm.
that day.
Mm-hmm.
So just bizarre to say
Right.
out loud, but
Right.
where should we begin? Here's the thing. I'm gonna have to put on my I gotta put on my glasses.
I
Can't see
can't
without his
see.
glasses.
Put his glasses on.
My Girl reference. Is that 1993? What year did My Girl come out?
Is that 91?
Mm.
Maybe.
My Girl.
Girl.
1991. Nailed it. Wow, that's pretty good.
Amazing. That's
Pretty
pretty
good.
good. Pretty good. That might be because I think last year Jeffers watched My Girl for the first time. As one of the movies I have mentioned. So I may have it may be fresh in the brain.
When you check into Dillo'sDizResort.com, we force you to watch movies
That you've never seen before.
30
That
years
will
old.
tear at your soul.
And I say that too. I've seen that movie, but I definitely have blocked it out.
Wow.
I was talking to a coworker of mine today about movies that I block out, and definitely Hitchcock movies and Western movies. I know that I've seen multiple times. I always have to go back to because I have no recollection of them. And
Yeah.
I feel like My Girl is one of those, as is Casper.
Okay, so Casper. So I see a lot of people on the TikTok in the last week or so were showing their like 9 to 12-year-olds Casper for the first time because the reveal of Casper and anyone in my age range, it took our heart and our breath away when the reveal happens. So they were like filming their kids watching the reveal. I'm like, oh, when do we get to watch Casper in this house? I love it. But also, it's so depressing because I used to have that whole monologue memorized, which was depressing. Like, I got sick. Mom got scared or sad or whatever he says. And I used to have it memorized. And it's like so depressing, but I love it. Oh,
Well,
sorry.
and I don't know if I've said this before, but the only like reveal moment I've ever captured with the 7-year-old is, and people will be like, if you're listening somewhere across this country or the world, you're probably like, oh my God. But, because Anakin Skywalker as Darth Vader was ruined for her at a very young age. Like, there's no escaping. Like, you're never going to, it's pretty clear. So, but the one that got her was who Rey was, the reveal about Rey in The Rise of Skywalker. I have that captured. She was homesick when we watched that movie.
Right.
It happened. I saw her reaction. I snapped the pic. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe this is going to be her "I am your father" reveal here with the grandparent lineage, and it's just so crazy to me that I don't know what else I could ever get her on in terms of old movies.
Yeah.
But as Lewis says about the movies we make you watch here at Dillo'sDizResort.com, movies you never wanted to see and movies you never want to watch again. Lewis, if you're talking about Lady in the Water, I'm going to be very upset.
If you're talking about Meet Joe Black, I'm going to be very upset.
And he also says, the perfect frame of mind for Hitchcock movies. Best to not remember what is going to happen so you can be freaked out again. I mean, fair point. And maybe that's why I do it. I'm not one for the psychological thrillers or the horror.
Yeah.
All right. Magic Kingdom. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, we're back to the holidays again. Holidays in Disney World. Here we are.
All right. The Frozen Holiday Surprise at Cinderella Castle. It says it's new in all caps with an exclamation mark. So gather around Cinderella Castle for dazzling new experiences that will illuminate the castle like never before. As I mentioned in the Discord, No Dream Lights will be in that show. As mentioned on the Monday Morning Monorail podcast this week, there was an implication that I hate the Dream Lights. Not true.
Mm-hmm.
Not
Mm-hmm.
true.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here to shoot that down. Fact check right here for the Monday Morning Monorail. I just think they were overused.
Ugh. Yeah, you just want it for certain people. You want the elitist to be
I
the lead
suggested that
experience.
maybe only very Merry Christmas parties. And well, now that they have the dynamic pricing, the days that the prices, the tickets a little higher, give them a little boost with the Dream Lights. That's all I was saying.
Every day do the dream lights.
Why?
It's magical. Is the holiday season. It's magical. Just do it. Even you don't have to do it from November 1st because shout out to all the cast members who were working overnight last night as of this recording,
Hmm.
changing Halloween to Christmas overnight at Disney because that's how it happens.
Hmm.
So shout out to all of them. But you don't have to start the dream lights on November 1st, but maybe like in my Christmas time, between Thanksgiving and Christmas, do the dream lights.
They're gonna have to get some petitions going to get that. I don't think it's gonna happen. Right, as Lewis is saying, they had to install the Dream Lights. They didn't have to project the Dream Lights. I think our friend Pastor John has also said something similar.
Mhm.
The Jingle Cruise. Have you done the Jingle Cruise
I
before?
have not.
I have not. I'm gonna have to put that on a list at some point
Yeah.
that I have to do. That is happening, as well as the seasonal decor.
Mhm.
It's we talk over the years, these 5 years that we've been doing the podcast, about how hashtag always MGM has stepped up their decor game,
Yeah.
almost. Some people want to say on par with or better than Magic Kingdom. True or
Mhm.
false?
True that people have said that. I would assume it's also true. However, I have yet to be there at the holidays
What?
in the last few years, and I haven't even seen hashtag always MGM all with the overlays and stuff.
Hmm.
I know.
That's bizarre.
I know
Fine
it's
Frank
pretty.
for 50. So but I mean, what's better than I mean, it's the most traditional to walk down Main Street with
Yeah.
the seasonal decor.
Hmm.
Epcot, the Epcot International Festival of the Holidays, food and wine finally slows down after taking over 33% of the year at Epcot. Uh, no, from November 24th through December 30th, you get all the storytellers sharing holiday traditions from around the world. You got the candlelight processional. You get to meet Santa Claus at the Odyssey Pavilion.
Hmm. Yeah.
Who knew? Living with the Land, the glimmering greenhouses, also from November 24th to December 30th, and more holiday entertainment. The storytellers bring traditions such as Hanukkah, Christmas, Kwanzaa, Lunar New Year, and more. That's also from November 24th to December 30th. Who had Dr. Val's going to remember? Il Bufana, the Christmas witch, I always hear is
Hmm.
a favorite these days.
Yeah,
I
Epcot is another stop I need to do I basically need to do a big trip during the holidays because of this podcast. I have heard so many stories of how amazing Epcot is, where you go to each country and you learn about their traditions and you have their storytelling,
Mhm.
and I'm like, I need to do that, and I haven't made it back during this time of year yet.
Right, it's so funny. Like, I don't think I've done it since I lived there, probably.
Yeah.
And I and and probably just because I haven't been at Epcot at night, because I've been at Epcot at the holidays, but haven't stayed enough for the entertainment, nor did I think the now 7-year-old, especially when she was like 2.5, would be into that. So
Hmm.
it was definitely a choice the last time I was there in December. But what I can recall is when I did live there, and you would get, like, in September, or I don't know, very early October, they would put a little ad in the Orlando Sentinel with, like,
Hmm.
come audition to be a storyteller at
Mm.
Epcot. As I told the story multiple times last week about my auditions at Walt Disney World. Never that good, but and some of them more memorable. I don't know if I ever went for the holiday storytellers because I didn't know where I would fit in there. So,
Now
um,
you would love
yeah,
that job.
I would love that job. Oh, I would totally be like the Lord of Misrule,
Yeah.
and it's
Mhm.
actually, as Lenny Burroughs' title is Christmas storyteller, part of his title.
Yes.
And I might be working on a new Lenny Burroughs show pretty soon here, as I've been discussing in the last
Mm.
week. More to follow at the resort tomorrow night or
Oh,
Thursday night.
man.
That's tonight. We shall see. Oh, Disney's Animal Kingdom. We're actually going to talk about this third. Who knew?
Oh, look at this. Just going
Uh,
in order of the article.
we got the Merry Menagerie as Discovery Island comes to life with artisan sculpted puppets of Arctic animals like penguins, reindeer, foxes, and polar bears. The Tree of Life Awakenings Holiday Edition. You can meet favorite Disney pals at Adventurers Outpost like Mickey and Minnie decked out in their holiday attire. And seasonal decor. Discover festive trimmings and touches around the park. Okay. I
Um,
mean,
oh,
mhm.
okay. Did
Go
you
ahead.
have
No,
any
after you.
follow-ups
No,
there? Or
no, no, just
okay,
more
so back
signs.
to Epcot for a second, only
Uh huh.
because I'm addressing a comment. Strictly because I'm addressing a comment. It has nothing to do with us talking about Animal Kingdom. I am just going back to a comment.
Hmm.
Lewis was saying, "Did you all not see the lights of winter back in
Mm.
your early days? Epcot lights were amazing until the early 2000s." Yes. I love Epcot at the holidays. And
Hmm.
that's the thing. I've been to the parks a lot around the holidays,
Hmm.
obviously living there, since living there, even before that, but probably in the last decade, not as much, like,
Yeah.
and probably not in, I don't know, it has to be
13
over
years.
5 years. Yeah, that I've been around the holidays or whatever. So, yeah, it's just been a while. That's all.
Hmm. No, the what Lewis is referencing is the archway, right?
Yeah, right. I
Before
think
you
so because
go,
I love that.
yeah, walking towards the World Showcase. But yeah,
Yeah.
Animal Kingdom's bottle cap wreaths are super cool.
Hmm.
There's so much I don't know about the Animal Kingdom.
I've never that is that on a Christmas map somewhere that I have to do while I look at it? What's this? Bottle cap wreaths? I
Hmm.
don't even know.
Jen's favorite pastime: trying to figure out the Animal Kingdom map. Hashtag always MGM. Hollywood Studios, for the first time in forever, a Frozen sing along celebration. They do a holiday version of that. Jen and I have actually seen that. That was the first time we saw
That's
the
right.
Frozen sing along.
So was that in that November trip that we did?
No, it was the January 2018 trip because the special
Oh,
had
right.
just dropped
That's right.
December 2017. So when we went to studios that Friday, now it's very cold that whole week. So we were looking for any excuse to get indoors.
Yes.
We did enjoy the show, and they did like the show, and then and I presume it's the same that they kind of tacked on. They probably condensed a lot of the dialogue, I would
Mhm.
think, between the historians, and then went to some of the sing along of the Christmas songs. I love that holiday special. It's
Yeah.
a
No, same. Mhm.
it's a secret, as a guilty pleasure of mine at the holidays.
Yeah, you think
The
I would have
sun,
learned that trip that I shouldn't go in January, and yet I kept going back and freezing every time. Speaking of which, it's been freezing here in New York today. I'm not ready for it.
it was 80 degrees on Saturday, and it's taken a horrific turn into bleakness.
So cold.
Jeffers, I'm sure, is like, "Heh, nothing compared to up here in Canada."
Exactly.
The sunset season greetings, gaze and wonder as the Hollywood Tower Hotel is transformed nightly with holiday projections. You got Minnie's Holiday Dine at Hollywood and Vine, so it's a character meet and greet with that has a Christmas layover, and then Toy Story Land characters in holiday attire as well. They've been doing that since Toy Story Land opened.
Mhm.
So that is what's happening. I love. Here's what I love about Disney and how they announce things. Starting November 11th,
Mhm.
right, for all these things through December 30th, even though you'll probably still hear the music and see some of the decor up until Run Disney in January.
Mhm.
But then the next thing underneath is Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, select nights November 9th to December 22nd. November 9th and November 9th starts your holidays. What are you doing?
Right.
Be consistent.
Yeah.
All right. So here are the offerings from the Very Merry Christmas Party. Hashtag find Frank for 50.
Mhm. Question mark?
Question mark. Just here's what you could do. You got Minnie's Wonderful Christmas Time Fireworks Show. You got Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas Time Parade. You got Disney characters all over the place in their Christmas best. You got the cookies and the cocoa all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
The Winter
Okay.
Wonderland, the Snowfall on Main Street, USA, which, I just go, you stole that from the Osborne family lights in the studios. That's
Mm-hmm.
fine.
Mm-hmm.
Fine. Take in the cheerful decorations that bring the spirit of the season to life. And then some iconic Magic Kingdom attractions with a holiday twist. Now,
I mean, sounds
based
good.
yeah, pretty good, pretty good.
Yeah, pretty
Based
good.
on your experience at Not So Scary this year, do you have more or similar itch to do a very Merry Christmas party again?
I mean, I think I've been wanting to do one again, just to do it. It's been since 1989, so it's probably time.
Mhm,
Um, and I did. I enjoyed Mickey's Not So Scary, and I enjoyed the parade and the stage shows and all of it. So yeah, I mean, and I think I need to. I haven't really also been enthralled by Christmas in Disney. One, because I haven't been there on this time in a while, but also since the Osborne lights have left, because I'm like,
mhm.
fine, forget it, Disney. You took them away. So I think some snow on Main Street would probably bring back some of that, like, oh man, this is good. This is pretty good.
I'm curious to those here at the resort in the
Mhm.
chat as we continue on to talk about Jollywood nights in the Magic Kingdom. Is there a place maybe a little under the radar, a little maybe a little nook, a pocket, if you will,
Mhm.
where you really love the subtlety of the Christmas decor that maybe
Mm.
isn't just like boom Main Street or
Yeah.
I like like something in Liberty Square comes to mind. Like I can't think of what anything looks like,
Mhm.
but I'm sure there's like nooks of Liberty Square that's like perfectly colonial Christmas there.
Right, right. Also, I wanted to go back. I meant to mention this comment earlier. Ryan had mentioned that we need Lenny to tell us a Christmas story on a podcast episode. So,
All right, we'll see.
just FYI.
All right.
Uh,
I've been I have a vision in my mind about
Okay.
Lenny at the holidays.
All right.
Um, that I I'll tell you offline, Jen, or maybe I'll share it at the resort tomorrow night there for the post
Uh,
show of Theme Park
All
Thursday
right.
Live. That would be Thursday night if you're listening to the audio here on Thursday morning.
Mhm.
Jollywood Nights at Hollywood Studios. Select nights November 11th to December 20th. Uh, so you got step into shimmering holiday scene with glitz and glamour galore, including dapper decor. What is that? What does that mean? What does that mean without using the word sleek?
Well, it's dapper. It's not
Uh,
sleek. We're not saying it's sleek.
Behold, Yuletide entertainment, live bands, a musical variety show, and the return of the Jingle Bell, Jingle Bam Nighttime Spectacular. Now, I don't know when they wrote this,
Hmm.
but nowhere in this, what I'm about to read, does it mention the Muppets.
Yeah, that's true.
How do you not mention
Mm.
that? Hashtag save the Muppets.
How are you not doing a whole Muppet Christmas Carol sing along somewhere?
Oh, you know that again. We've been through the
I know.
lack. We love the party bus they had in Disneyland with the Muppets, the bus
Hmm.
that went around Main Street with all the Muppets singing in it for the holidays.
Hmm.
Why can't you just do something like that? You have all the, people often say to us, you have all this content. Why aren't you
Hmm.
using the content more out there for the
Hmm.
world?
Yep.
I don't have an answer for them, but but the Muppets, they have all this content. How do
Yeah.
you not use that to your advantage to, as I've been saying a lot lately, put butts in the seats?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Explore swanky venues and themed entertainment areas. Enjoy some favorite attractions with lower wait times. You are not saying anything in this.
Come to the park. The end.
Encounter some nostalgic characters as they spread holiday cheer. Are you bringing back the citizens of Hollywood? How about that one, Jollywood Nights? Treat your senses to specialty sips and bites. Oh, we get to mention the alcohol in this section. And then the photo pass stuff. So that is what's in like the Jollywood Nights summary on the Walt Disney World website.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's weird. But so Lewis is talking about some other things. He's
Mhm.
saying that there's a Nightmare Before Christmas sing along where the Frozen show
Oh,
is.
wait a minute.
And he's mentioning the Muppets are doing a live show at the
Yeah.
Beauty and Beast Theater. That's
Right. No,
yeah,
no, I'm saying I knew about the Muppets.
yeah,
I'm just saying, how do they not edit their
right,
website to reflect the things that they have mentioned specifically, such as what it is mentioning here?
right. Hmm.
It's crazy.
Well, we're not going this year, but next year?
Next year? Question mark? When the very Merry Christmas party is cheaper?
TBD.
Maybe. Maybe.
TBD 50.
I'm so happy I'm another year older. Before we go, we didn't talk about Wish is coming out this month. They keep like slowly teasing all the
Hmm.
Wish stuff.
Oh,
Do you
yes.
do you think this will be part of your Thanksgiving weekend, Jen?
Part of my world.
Mhm.
Yes, I do. I first of all, it's Wish, right? Is it just
Yes.
Wish, not
What did I
Wishes?
say? It's
You
not
said
wishes.
Wishes at first. So here's the thing.
Did I?
Don't make
I might have
me.
said wish is.
Oh, right. Well, and here's the thing. Disney, listen, you know I love wishes. Wishes. I, and now you have the movie Wish, and then you have a cruise ship Wish. Uh, Maybe we're doing a little too much with the word wish because now I'm getting confused as to what everyone talks about.
Mhm.
But yes, I believe that will be a part of my Thanksgiving weekend. If not, then soon after. I also find it interesting that they on the TikTok they have released the sound and the music so that
Yeah.
trying to generate some buzz that way from
Mhm.
by people using the sound already. But yeah, I mean, I'm always in for a little new Disney movie. So yeah.
And then you mentioned to me in a side text prior to us recording that I have not seen recent pictures of the Polynesian DVC tower.
Mhm.
But are you pulling something up here? Yeah.
Yeah.
I remain you know not optimistic. That's too strong of a word. But I think the paint job and how it's themed from the poly to the wedding pavilion. Like I need to see it blend. I need a nice blending of the DVC tower at the Polynesian in order for me to not be as aggravated. I'm stalling a lot here for Jen to
No.
find the picture.
Our friend Nate Bishop had tweeted a
Mhm.
pic, but it's from distripsandmore.com. I'll share my screen. Present here, share screen. Do, 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 do.
Mhm, mhm.
I
It's
just,
so Waikiki Beach.
I just let me zoom a little bit. There. Ugh.
Glasses on again.
Just trying to zoom a
Mhm,
little bit.
mhm. Right, but if the color scheme goes from south to west
No,
as like starts with the browns and moves into the whites, like it might.
no. How dare you?
It's huge. It's so
It's
big.
horrible. I
And the thing is like why don't we here's a question. Why do you are how are you about the contemporary tower?
um eh, probably because I don't have the nostalgic tie in the same way as the
Mhm,
Polynesian. I was like, "Oh man, you're changing those little tiny buildings to make this beautiful tower." But there is a part of me that's like I do want to stay in Bay Lake Tower with a nice resort, I mean,
mhm,
the theme park view,
mhm.
right? So, like, there's that. Whereas this, I'm showing it to Mr. Snidillo earlier. He's like, "You'd stay there," and I was like, "I would not. I want an old Polynesian room." And he's like, "If someone said, 'Here's a free trip to Disney, but you have to stay in one of these rooms,' you're not staying there." I'm like, "Well, you can't say that, obviously."
Yeah, I mean, I think the contemporary, I guess the same. I haven't thought about it as like, oh, I'm not nostalgic for the contemporary. That's why I don't care.
Yeah.
But I also think, to me, the tower is that's the contemporary tower is
Mhm.
more in the background.
Mhm.
It's still not like you're still coming around the monorail. You're not necessarily like running into it, or
Right.
it's not up against your face. It's
Mhm.
it's still in the background enough that I feel like it doesn't take over the views that I recall. It could be
Yes.
me. I don't know.
No, oh my god, just hit the microphone, sorry. No, I get that. I don't know. I mean, I guess I'll wait to see the paint, but, like, I'm just mad it's there. I think
That's
it's too big.
That's fair.
Yeah.
This is the first of 3 straight nights that we're recording, and I think my voice is pretty ready for it. Nope. But we're recording here on Wednesday night ahead of our Theme Park Thursday audio drop in the morning. Thursday evening, if you're listening to this podcast on Thursday, we'll be doing Theme Park Thursday live over on our YouTube channel. 3 topics, 3 subjects, 30 minutes. We'll do our best to get all 3 topics or subjects in that 30 minutes. And then we will take it over to DillosDizResort.com. That's our Patreon, once again, for a little post-show chit-chat. You never know what's going to happen there. A couple of weeks ago, we were showing some old
Old.
footage of us
Mhm.
doing random things. Uh, and then on Friday, again, Mrs. Dillo is out of town, in case you're wondering where all these recordings are coming from. Friday night, I'm home, so let's record. Friday night, we will be doing a Dillo's Pop recording over on the YouTube channel. Without making it too depressing, we will do our best, but we figure we'll do a Friends-centric episode, a little Matthew Perry reflection. And I mean, I
I
wanted to ease in to it.
I think overall it's gonna be a Matthew Perry
I know it is.
reflection, which and on the last post show we were doing, we were talking about upcoming pop episodes, and I was like, "Oh my god,
Oh,
we have to do a whole Friends one, and I have this game, and we have the whole thing." That still has to be saved for another time. We can't do that right
well, I was trying to ease in with
now. All
this.
right.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Um, still gonna take some time. Anyway, and on that note, thanks to everyone else who's been with us along the way here, whether you're listening to the audio on Theme Park Thursday or if you're here at DillosDizResort.com. We appreciate you as always.
Yes.
And until the rest of the week awaits us here, we'll see you again real soon. She's Jen, and I'm Frank. Bye-bye.
Deuces. For your one-stop shop for all things Dillos, visit DillosDiz.com. Follow us on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at DillosDiz. Don't forget to join our Facebook group at Dillos Diz Community Core. We have plenty to see over at youtube.com/DillosDiz. Remember to hit that subscribe button. We'd love to have you check into DillosDizResort.com with tiers starting as low as $1. Theme Park Thursday with Dillos Diz featuring Frank Cardillo and Jen Cardillo Snyder. Dillos Diz Podcast 2023.